Catholic high schools in the United States are very focused on getting students into colleges. But one thing that really stood out when I interviewed students and asked them about sort of what do you think your teachers want for you after you graduate, their answer was always twofold. You know, they want me to go to a good college, but more than that, they want me to be a good person, or it's my goal here is not just to be to go get a good job, but to treat people well throughout the course of my life. So there was a clear message to students, or students were taking away that there was more to education and more to living a good life than just going to college and getting a job.
Okay. Now, would you say that was, would you say you detected altruism, a sense of altruism in the students, that they not just wanted to be a good person, but they wanted to do good to
Yeah,
others?
definitely. You could see that in both informal and formal ways. Sort of on the informal side, many people describe the school, and this would be administrators, teachers, and students, as like a family, you know, and people were very caring and selfless towards their peers. They got lots of good examples of that in the study. And then in more formal ways, many students in these schools were involved in serving their local community through various types of outreach, depending on the sort of city that they were located.
From your view, what was the position of most of the schools you studied on moral authority on social issues?
This was really interesting, you know, knowing official church teaching on issues like same-sex marriage and abortion. I was curious about how the schools approached those issues. In many cases, I would say the general approach was an acceptance of respectful dissent. So most educators felt like it was acceptable for a student to say or to hold a position that was different than official church teaching, but they viewed it as a teachable moment that, you know, if a student was going to hold one of those views or share a view that was different than official church teaching, they should do so in an educated and respectful way, you know, so they should have evidence to support their claims. They should convey their position in a way that was respectful of other views, and they should make a really concerted effort to at least understand what the other position was in addition to their own.
And students didn't feel any reluctance to voice a position that was different than church doctrine?
No, not at most of the schools that I went to. You know, there were a lot of students who were agnostic on the issues, of course, but in particular, attitudes towards homosexuality. The students I spoke to were very tolerant and often gave me examples of times where, you know, they had spoken up in class or tried to create a club at their school. And in those instances, they felt like they were met with conversation with their school teachers and administrators.